What's going on, folks? Your boy again, Dr. Sean Thomas, back in the building with the Be More Today show. We are back. We are back in the building. And folks, we're doing our live show today because the NYC Marathon just went down in the greatest city in the world. And I'm super hyped to bring on some guests who did the marathon this year. But before I even get there, as you already know, Be More Today is a movement we've been rocking out all this year. Season 5 of the Be More Today show, now in episode 159. Can you believe it? Celebrating our 10-year anniversary of Being More Today. And it's been a blessing. I appreciate each and every last one of you for supporting the show. The movement, we have so many guests on this year who've been amazing, and they have been doing great things in the world of health and fitness. As you already know, BeMoreToday.com has all you need for our more merch. My new book is coming out next month called Project More. Will be on pre-sales next month, so look out for that. And as always, go on Facebook and Instagram for Be More Today Show, Be More Today PT, and your boy here, Dr. Sean Thomas, on Instagram as well. Our show is heard on Spotify and Apple Podcasts, now in 87 countries, over 67,000 downloads. So again, thanks to your love and support, the show continues to grow, and we appreciate everyone who is ever listening to the show. It does not go unnoticed. My quote for today is simple as always. Perseverance doesn't always mean winning or losing. Perseverance means showing up and rising to the occasion and performing. Now, listen, the NYC Marathon happened this past Sunday. It was electric as always. It moves everyone, whether you've done it 4 times like myself or it was your first time. You are part of a special club, the 1% Club. And it takes time. It takes persevering. And it's not about winning as in the first person to finish or even the last person to finish. It's about moving forward and showing yourself that you can rise to the occasion, that you can go through the obstacles. You can train for this thing 17 weeks, 18 weeks, putting in the work to get to the finish line for one moment. That's perseverance. And that's why I love watching the marathon. I love seeing the marathon. I did London this year and didn't do NYC, but every time I am at the cheer zone with our Spartan Sundays Run Club, I am moved by everyone who decides to be persevering in their journey to reach the finish line. So it was incredible. And I thought for this week, why not bring on the baddest run crew in Brooklyn, along with some of the newest class members of the 2024 NYC Marathon finishers. So folks, without further ado, let me bring on my co-founder of Spartan Sundays, my guy, our forever team captain, Mr. White by himself, Ismael Torres. Ismael, what is going on, Brody? How are you doing tonight?
What's good? What's good? Just hanging out in the background, getting this production going, celebrating class of 2024, and just celebrating people who conquered the obstacle this year and enjoyed the party at the same time of the NYC Marathon. So we started our long run season literally like end of June, and it was 18 tough weeks of running and training. Had the heat, had the couple of cold days with the long sleeves. Started early in the morning, 6 a.m. You know how we do, so you could get the rest of your day. And then, we let them go to the Verrazano Bridge and tackle New York City by themselves.
Yes,
But
sir.
we did not leave them to do it all alone. We had that awesome cheer zone in mile 8, where all of our Spartans were waiting for each and every runner to stop by and, get their little party action, pit stop, anything that they needed. And at the same time, get their little celebration on. I mean, shout out to Tyrell, who's not here today, and shout out to Laurel. But you saw when he joined the cheer zone, he basically turned up.
Oh, he was hyped.
And that's kind of what the cheer zone is about. You get hype, 8 miles in, you get hype, you get that extra boost, you get your gels, get gathered again, and
Yeah.
then you have the next bit to go. So, just here, happy to celebrate them, and whatever they need, I'm in the background setting up the ones and twos for all of them.
Awesome. We appreciate that so much. And yeah, it was definitely a vibe. It was a great day, a beautiful day with the weather and sunshine. It was amazing. And, I'm looking at Ish. We've done so much this year in terms of preparing our runners to get to this point. And now that we're semi on break, but not really, because Tokyo's right now. Tokyo's like training right now. How's it feel, sir, to you? We've gotten through a successful season. what's it like to see all these runners, as they always say, to hit their obstacles and cross the finish line?
It feels very gratifying because, um, as the captain of the mid pack, back of the pack runners or newbies, I kind of take pride of just giving them everything that they need to get through the 18 weeks to get to the finish. It's, some people say it's kind of a ministry for me to kind of help people and put them out there and help them along the way. Um, I just look at it as paying it forward.
Hmm.
2017, you did your first. And then I said to myself, I could do this. Why I can't do this?
Mm-hmm.
Right? 2018, I did mine. And then I said, when I saw people running next to me, I was just like, they could do this. My Spartans could do this. So then, it just blew up from there. And it's very gratifying to kind of see new Spartans. Number one, get that jersey because they get that custom drip.
Right.
Number two, to see them flaunt it, of course. And then number three, to see them celebrate it and take in the atmosphere that is New York. There is no marathon like the New York City Marathon.
Yeah, no, it's electric. It's crazy. And I've been looking at our progression over the last couple of years, going from the muddy hills of Sparta in New York and Pennsylvania and Vermont and everywhere else. And we've grown so much now, even through the pandemic, to this run club that is really changing people's lives and having people not just look at their health differently, but also look at their family structure, look at their mental health, look at their physical health, and wanting to do more, not just in terms of running races, but more in terms of going places and doing races in various places. We've had you on the show before talking about the run club. And what do you think has contributed now to the growth of the club over the last 4 years or so?
So we have a theme every year. This year's theme was big work, big wins, right? You put in that big work, you get the big win. Now, what happened was mid-year, we kind of adopted a secondary theme, and it kind of became our theme, No Spartans Left Behind, right? And we saw that really like in our mud runs. Let me just preface this by saying the mud runs aren't done. We still go out and get dirty. So Spartans get dirty. We get dirty once or twice a year, and then we stay home and we do the road. So it's still Spartan Sundays, but it's also Spartan Sunday Run Club.
Mm-hmm.
So don't feel you're out the woods if you haven't done a muddy race. We're going to get you sooner or later.
Facts.
But the key to Spartan Sundays that brought it out in 2011, wow, it's been that long, was that when you get to the top of that obstacle, someone was there to reach out their hand and literally lift you up over that obstacle, right? And we kind of still go to that mantra now. The only difference is we on concrete instead of dirt. So when I'm Sherpaing a bunch of gels, you are literally running slow to kind of stay with the other packs. That's us kind of saying, we're going to make sure you get there. And, shout out to Be More Today for the training and fitness, keeping us accountable, making sure those burpees get done when we slacken. And it's just been really good. We've come from the basement all the way to kind of being recognized around the city. And shout out to all the other clubs who were out there and the crew love that we saw out there on Sunday.
Yeah, absolutely. Lots of crews on the road, and I gotta thank you. You've been a real connecting force when it comes to merging our run club with other run clubs. We've had a lot of them on the show this year. We got more coming on the show as well. But it's been a great ish. Really rocking out with you. We're now both 4 stars in. We got 2 stars more to go. Tokyo's on the docket. We just started training for Tokyo this week, really. And the coveted Abbott 6 is right around the corner. And with London behind us and now Tokyo ahead of us, what are some of your feelings as we get closer and closer to this thing we've been talking about for years now? I think that seems so far away. Now getting closer and closer. What are your thoughts as we get closer and closer to the finish line for this?
As we get closer and closer to Abbott 6, I kind of look at the completion of it. Like we've been doing this for 7 years. When we started our New York journey, and we thought New
Mhm.
York was it, right? And then we fell into Avid Six,
Yeah.
and through the community, we've seen that, wow, this is a thing. And I always tell my wife, Spartan Felicia, that these 2 feet take us all around the world, right? These 2 little feet take us everywhere. And if you commit to doing the training,
Mm.
and um, and shout out to her, because she's there at 5 a.m. when I wake up and I'm like, I'm out.
Mm.
And she's got to take care of the kids. I get back, and life continues. The same thing for you and Spartan Pie. All of the sacrifice, getting people to get their Avid Six, like Spartan Pam, she's almost there with us. Spartan Erica, there's so many others. It's very gratifying to see that happen. I kind of just stick to that word, gratifying, to see everybody pulling through.
Yeah, it's amazing. Again, big ups to our wives and our kids for being part of this journey. It does not go unnoticed. We love you guys so much. And Ish, I really want to give a shout also to those who are not on the show today. My brother Terrell, I'm really proud of what he did running his second marathon. He got through it. He trained well this year. He got that thing done, and really, really proud of him. Just beyond words. Of course, Laurel, who's been putting in so much work this year from the jump. I mean, it was no surprise she was going to go out there and crush it, and she did crush it with flying colors. So big ups to Tyrell and Laurel for just being great. But we got some marathoners Ish who are they're here on the show. They're ready to show off their swag, their hardware.
That's
And
right.
want to highlight them. So let's bring on Erica Pauyo at this time if she's ready to be on the show.
All right, no problem. Here we go, Miss Erica.
Hi.
It's good to see you. I'm
What's
gonna let
going
you
on?
get your shine, and I'm gonna jump off the stage.
Sure. Good to
Erica,
see you.
congrats again on being again in the 1% of the marathoners who finished this thing. Well done. How are you feeling?
Thank you. Are you hearing me well?
Mm-hmm.
Yay. I'm feeling great. Recovery was great after NYC. And it's one of my biggest wins this year. To see myself recover after 3 marathons, in about 7 months.
Yeah.
And then with no injuries, I'm really grateful.
Yeah.
Feeling great.
So people might not know this, but you and I have been training together all year, in various ways, and it's been just great seeing your progression. You've gotten so much better. You've gotten so much more confident. You've gotten so much more efficient in your running. It's just been really amazing to see that. And you, my dear, were very, very ambitious this year, running London, Berlin for a second time, and then New York, which you've done before. Berlin had the record for the biggest marathon up to date, and then New York came and smashed that. And you are now part of the 2 biggest marathons that have ever happened on the face of this earth. What's this feel like to run Berlin and now New York, and knowing that you were a part of history back-to-back times?
When I ran Berlin for the first time live on the course, it was in 2021. And I promised myself that, I don't know if it was because it was my first live marathon, that I just have such an attachment to it, and I like the city. And I'm like, ever since 2021, I told myself, guys, I want to go back to the 50th anniversary. And God did it, and I got into the lottery. And it was I was really happy to be there for that. But when they claim to be the biggest ever, I felt the way as an implant, because I wouldn't dare call myself a New Yorker, but as an implant, I was like, I have to be of the number, because no, Berlin, like that's not happening. Like this belongs to us. Like that record belongs to us.
Yeah.
And it was an extra little kick.
Yeah.
To the excitement of being there, because I knew I volunteered as for bib pickup, and I knew the number of bibs that we ended, and I was like, yeah, Berlin doesn't have it, we have it.
Nice.
So it was really amazing.
That's awesome.
To be a part of both.
That's awesome. Yeah, I'm glad I came back to New York too, because we run this. You've always run this, is what we do. So, but I remember, Erica, you and I have spoken all year about various things when it comes to running, from Instagram posts and stories and reels, about nutrition, about race pace, and whatever else, different zones you're running in, all kinds of things. And I know one day you were mentioning mental and physical fatigue when you were talking about literally going from one training cycle to the next, especially because you ran 3 marathons this year and you were able to do it. I mean, again, kudos to you for gritting down, as a nurse working, you're not doing this full time. You're working as a nurse and you're also training full time. So a lot of work was put in, and you had some challenges also with your family and whatever else this year. So you did it. You were phenomenal. And I'm just curious, what was it like having to mentally refresh every single time you get ready for these marathons? What kept you going to get from one training block to the next to the next?
To be honest, it was really two major training blocks, because between Berlin and NYC it's not that big of a gap. But really, from training for London, I mean, I know London was my A race. This is where I laid it all out there. Like, I gave it every single thing that I had. But I also knew the course of the Berlin Marathon, and I was really shooting for a PR. And it would have been 10 seconds. I would have been okay with it, because I wanted to up my mileage, and my body was ready for it because I've been training for over a year now consistently, and I'm not starting from the couch. And so it made it easier, and it gave me like a little bit more of a confidence running London at 4:48. I've never ran a marathon under 5 hours, even, or even 5:30. It was a huge PR, and it really boosted my confidence. And I was like, oh, maybe I can run for real, for real. So I was just like, okay, so let's see. And there was not a week that I actually met my mileage count training for Berlin. It just never happened, no matter how much I pushed it. If there's one thing that I've learned as a runner, it's more than just running. You can't just look at running and training for a marathon as if it's separate. I have one body. Is the same body who's an overnight nurse. Is the same body who's sleep deprived. Is the same body. I just run when I can. I had runs where I was running at 2 a.m. because for recovery purposes, I can't drive my body to the ground and not sleep. Skip on sleep on a night that I'm not working, so that I can make a training session. It doesn't make any sense. So the PR was really like a huge, and knowing that Berlin was flatter and easier than London, it was really a huge push for me. And London really gave me the confidence. And as of NYC, the plan was to show up. I mean, it would have really been nice to like PR, but I really wanted, by PR, I mean like under 5. Under 5 for NYC. That would have been a major deal for me, because the last time I ran it in 2021 was 5:46.
Wow.
And I still PR'd the course by a minute. A win is a win. I'll take it. But it was more, I really entered NYC as, okay, you know what? This is a check. This is a box check. I'm not, the course alone is just so rough. I'm not aiming for a PR. I have to be realistic. This is my third. I ran one in a month, and my heart rate was doing crazy things for an entire week. I did not. After Berlin, I ran once, and it was a 2-mile shakeoff. The day before the UFC marathon. So I knew I lost fitness a bit, and I even lost fitness before I ran Berlin. And so I just wanted to remain realistic in terms of what really to expect. But I'm glad it's all behind me. The mental fatigue piece of it, really, it was taking a step back whenever I felt like I needed to. Even if my body said go, if the mental wasn't there, I took a little bit of a break. I shortened certain runs. Maybe if I wasn't meeting pace due to heat or due to whatever reason, I would just draw back. And that's how I dealt with that.
Mm.
But it was, I reached a point where I was just like, this is exhausting. Training block after training block is not, I would not recommend. I would not recommend. But if you have a plan in place and you can cope with the fatigue that it brings about,
Mhm.
you know, you deal with it day by day.
Absolutely. Yeah, I would say it's not recommended, but you killed it and you did it and you did it well. And like you said, a PR is a PR, whether it's by 1 minute, whether it's by 1 second, a PR is a PR. So, I give you kudos for that. And, I've been telling you the whole time, you're faster than this, you're faster than this, you're faster than this. And it's not until you really see that you're faster or that your potential is there, then just your eyes open up and the possibilities become even more endless. So I think you're a great example of people who push themselves, but within reason, right? You said, look, I have to go to work. I know I'm tired now. I have to adjust my life, adjust my schedule a certain way so I can still get these runs in, but still make sure that I'm functional for work. And that's real life. That's real life, right? You're putting what you had to do more importantly first, but also realize that you have goals and you balance this life training thing very, very well. So what's one of the things you can take away from this experience? Say, what, I learned this from these 3 marathons in 1 year. I learned blank. Fill in the blank for me.
Ooh, ooh. Um, I'll say that I can always do more than I think that I can. I did not think I was planning on deferring New York City up to the Monday of week of
Mm,
race week.
mm,
I had zero confidence that I could actually do it due to what my body has been going through lately. But it's, as one of my slowest marathons, it's one that I am the most proud of. It's 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 the one I felt most emotional about. I was crying from mile 25 until the finish line, especially after our cheer zone. I just, it was really a lot to take in. Um, for reasons that I cannot share online right now, really, like, I don't know anyone in real life who has done what I've done with what I'm going through. And honestly, I couldn't have been more proud of myself
yeah.
for doing so. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I'm proud of you. That's why show off that hardware. Show off that hardware. And listen, for those who know your story a little bit, your ability to get through life this way you've been doing, it's what we talked about in the beginning. Perseverance is real. And it's not about winning or losing. It's about just making sure you show up and you show out. And you did all those things. So my last question for you, Erica Pauyo, Haitian Queen. What is next on the docket? What is next for you? I mean, you've done so many things. You did 3 marathons in 1 year. What's next for you on the docket for either training stuff or otherwise?
I neglected strength training a lot. Like, I fell off since like London. uh, I could not keep up. I could not keep up. Like, making like strength training twice, no matter how short I kept the sessions. I
Mhm.
was like, okay, better done than perfect. Just do a couple exercises. I was like, no, it just wasn't happening.
Mhm.
So I want to hop back because I lost a lot of strength. It's not necessarily, it's a very misconception with running that you lose muscle mass a lot. A lot of people worry about that. If you do both consistently, you will not. Running does not cause you to lose muscle, or your strength. It's not a thing at all. So I want to be consistent with that. I'm very prone to injuries, and I know it. I have been literally riding on the grace of God, running all those marathons in such a short period of time without injuries.
Mm.
So I'm not gonna push it.
Yeah.
And I'm going to get back in at my local gym. Maybe not CrossFit back again, but just get back at the blank and just do my thing. Not CrossFit, yeah, right. um Maybe just do my thing, and just full body strength, and put on some muscles again. And I'm drawing back a bit. This is probably news since I have not shared this with you, or ish. Y'all are probably gonna choke me after this. But yeah, Tokyo's not happening. Um, Tokyo's not happening. I'm definitely bowing out from that. Um, so my goal is to literally continue to run at least 20 miles a week to just maintain. Probably do some shorter workouts just to work on shorter distances. I told myself that I was going to do that in 2023. And marathoning is low-key addictive. And I just could not take the break that I wanted because, I got in all three major marathons and I did not see it coming. And I wasn't going to say no.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm bowing out of Tokyo, and the plan is to maintain fitness, to just keep going.
Yeah. Well, Erica, there's nothing wrong with that at all. That's real life, right? That's what happens. So we appreciate you sharing that and being transparent on the show. And yeah, you deserve a break. I mean, it's time to rest a little bit. It's all good. Tokyo will be there. Life will keep lifing, and you'll be great. So no worries on that at all. We really appreciate you and all you've done, and we salute you for doing 3 in the same year. You rocked out. So thank you so much for being on this show, Erica, and enjoy your rest. Keep rocking those medals. Let the world know what you did, and we'll see you soon.
Thank you for having me.
Folks, she is a rock star amongst rock stars. I've only done 2 marathons in a year span. So the fact that she did 3 and that Berlin, listen, it's crazy. It's wild. But you know what? People do it. And yes, they are addicting. It's something that just happens. It's something that goes on. And if you don't know about it, you don't know about it. But our next guest on the show had no idea because he was truly a first timer. And he's someone who I got to know very, very well on our long runs. My guy Benarge is next on the docket. So folks, welcome him to Be More Today's show. Benarge, what is going on, Brody? I am so excited to talk to you today. What is happening?
What's going on? Peace, everybody. What's up? I am Erica's a beast, man. I ain't gonna hold you.
Real talk.
So yeah, what's going on with me? I'm just watching greatness on the screen right now, and just observing everyone on the team because I'm the newbie here. I ain't done this before. This is all you guys' world, and I'm just taking a moment in it for a little bit.
Listen, Benarge, I have a cousin named Reggie who looks kind of like you, and I've never told you this. You guys have very similar personas. You guys both have the beard with the bald head.
Oh yeah.
So it was cool running with you because I felt like I was running with my cousin, and you and I had a bond, I think, that was pretty special. We did all long runs together. We shared a lot about coming together and no soldier being left behind. And I kept listening to you talk about this undenying strength you had in you to get this thing done. And undenying retaliation you wanted to give to every race that ever got to you. And I say, you know what, Benarge is ready. And I gotta say, you rocked out. You're officially part of the 1% Club. How does it feel, sir? How does it feel?
Well, yeah, it's real. This is real. How does it feel? And I mean, I appreciate you, Coach. One of the things that you taught me was that, you never know your limit until you try. And, coming into this, never having done a marathon before, but, this is 2024. So for me, this year has been a year of doing crazy things that you've never done before. That's just what this year has been. So, I think the part that you mentioned about the undeniable, like gonna get it done, like I have this, it's like Michael Jordan. He always finds something to motivate him. And I'm a basketball player by nature. And, on the court, that's my space. I know what I'm doing there. I feel comfortable, confident, all those things. But when it came to running, I naturally fast, but marathons are not about sprinting. It's literally about a marathon. It's a different energy. And, I really appreciate your approach on how you actually helped me to learn how to run like this. It's one thing to be motivated, and what got me into this. And, I have a really close friend. I know you know her, and she's run too. And I was like, you know what? I'm getting any younger. I'm gonna run one too, just to say that I did it, just to qualify to even be your friend right now. Let me just go run one of these and make sure that that I do what I say I'm gonna do. So that was like the beginning of this entire idea as to even why I wanted to do this. And looking back at it, I'm just glad that I took the time to do it with you guys, because Spartan Sunday Club couldn't have done it without you guys, man. I'm gonna hold you.
Well, listen, we appreciate you, and it's funny. A lot of people run for various reasons, and some run because they have a health thing they're trying to get over. Some run because they lost a bet, and whatever it is, they want to prove themselves they can do something. But it seems like you were running to show somebody that you can do it, and yeah, she did run two, and she rocked out those two. I'm curious, so saying you want to do it is one thing, right? But what was the factor that said, you know what, I have to get up this week and the next week and the week after that to continue doing this thing? Because a lot of people say they want to do stuff, right? They sign up and they're all about it, and then stuff happens, or they say, you know what, I'm not going to do it, or they're going to do it, they're going to kind of just go through the motions and not really do it well. But your determination was, I'm going to do this, and I'm going to kill this thing. I'm going to make sure every race you would talk to me about was like, yo, I did Staten Island and I killed that thing. And we did this race and I murdered that thing. And we did this race and I slaughtered that thing. And you were like on a mission to make sure that every race you did, you were killing that thing, because you knew at the end, the big one was going to come. And if you could conquer these small ones, you'd be ready. What inspires you to have that grit, to continue that persistent focus for the weeks on end that you were training? Because there were some days where it was just me, you, and Ish out there, right? And then all people were gonna come. No one came. It was just you and me and Ish. And me and Ish weren't even running. We didn't run.
Yeah, that's
you
right.
were just running. So what made you say, you know what? I don't care who shows up. I'm getting this done. What was it?
Well, what kept me going? I saw the little comments in there. Someone said, this is his last one. It is. I said I retired, man. But I think there's something that's going to bite me, and maybe I'll come back. Who knows? But what kept me going in this thing? And I think it was a combination of things. So going into this, I actually got an injury. I was injured. There was a little tendon at the bottom of my foot that connects to the ankle, and it got torn a little bit as a blunt damage. And that was in February of this year. And I knew I had the marathon already qualified for it. I was already set up to go do it. So I was just doing my training programs for that. And that put me back. And for me, that injury in itself, my brother had the same injury, and he was literally in crutches for 4 weeks. And that's the same injury that I had, but I just ran through the pain. And what kept me going was, I feel like I'm an example for my friends and for my family and for my daughter. And, for me, it's her, it's her, it's my family, it's my close loved ones. Like, these people look to me for not just leadership, but just an example, right? Just an example, not even leadership, because they're leaders in their own way, but as an example. And I take that so serious. For me, it's like, if I put myself to commit to something, I'm going to go do that. And I was saying to one of my close friends, I'm like, I'm going to crawl through this finish line if I have to, but there's no way I'm not finishing this race. And this goes back to Staten Island last year. I ran the Staten Island half last year, and it killed me. Damn near broke my back. I was cramping left, right, back, for everything. I was hobbled. There's pictures of this. You could see the grit in my face. I looked like I was beat up by somebody, right?
Yeah.
And when you compare pictures of last year's Staten Island to this year's Staten Island, you see what you're talking about, which is, I'm on my get back year. This is 2024. I'm here to collect all of the people that made me feel a certain way in 2023. I'm here to get them. I'm here to get them. And that's what it was. So when I was running with you guys, I'm like, okay. And actually, Ish, coach, not to hold you, he's actually part of the motivation too. Because in the Staten Island race last year, him and I were running together, and our pace was like maybe 12 minutes, 11 minutes, like consistent for the first 8 miles. Then my body gave out. And Ish was like, and he kept running his race. Because again, everyone has their own race. At a certain point, it's just you and the road. And I vowed to myself to never again, ever in this lifetime, let my coach Ish ever have to go to war without me at his side. And that goes for any of my coaches. That's you, that's him. I will be broken on the road running behind you guys, but I will not let you guys, because we're Spartans. So we're warriors, and you guys are the leaders. So going together, I'm like, yo, these are my leaders. I'm not going to go to war with these guys, and then they're fighting the enemy and I'm back here chilling because I'm hurting. I'm like, no, never again is anyone leaving me. So that's kind of what I've been using for the whole year, which is my coaches, I have their back, and I can't have their back if I'm not in condition. And people that are looking to me to be a leader and a good example, I'm not going to stop. So those long night runs that I was doing, it's because, again, I'm motivated by more than just myself. There are people who I love, people who are holding me down, and I'm going to have their back because they have mine. So that's like the inner workings of me just now.
That's real talk. I connect with you on the daughter tip. I'm a big supporter of do as I say and do as I do. And I can't go out there and give up, and expect her to not give up.
Right.
She has to do what I do. If I am persistent, she has to be persistent too, and I got to show that so she see what's going on. So I get that. And you are truly a Spartan. You haven't done a Spartan race yet.
Oh, wait a minute.
We have to make that happen. But you have all the grit that Spartan is. I mean, no Spartan left behind is basically what you've been talking about. And, it's poignant to really see your determination, because you not just killed this race. You slaughtered it, man. And you look so confident in doing it. And, I was talking to you. I remember we were doing one of the segments of the marathon course. We did a number of different segments throughout the training.
Yep.
And I kept trying to explain to you, when you get here, it's going to feel like this, and it's going to get here, you feel like this, but it's totally different when you actually experience it. Do you think it was helpful, us doing the different course segments and talking through those course segments? How was it beneficial for you? Did it not matter at all? Like, how did it feel when you actually were going to these places, when you were now tired, with the crowds, with the people we were talking about crossing through and whatever else? How did it feel when you were actually in that thing and you actually going through the course real time?
So there's a gentleman by the name of Neil Greathouse, okay? And you don't know who that is, but so let me go back. Running those course lines with you was literally the secret ticket to me being able to prepare for this race. I remember us going down that Fourth Avenue straight to Barclays, and how fast we took that. And I was like, oh my goodness, I'm just running normal. And it's like, no, you just ran that as a 9-minute mile. I'm like, what? So everything that you taught me on those routes, I literally used to help coach the person that I ran with during the marathon. So on the Verrazano Bridge, there was a gentleman that was pacing with me. His name is Neil. He's a type 1 diabetic. He's running to support his foundation. He's from Arkansas, a great guy. And we're running at the same pace. And he's like, I guess I'm gonna run with you. And from that moment forward, we literally ran almost the entire race together.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And along the way, I'm pacing him. I'm like, okay, Neil, listen, you got to slow down here, because this is a downhill. My coach was telling, and I'm literally giving him the coaching that you gave me. And that is literally exactly how he was able to finish strong. And I'm like, this is how this works. Like, when you're a part of a good coaching team, which is what you guys gave us, we're now educated to go into this race and feel confident because we're competent. Like, we know what we're doing. So the first half of that race was flawless. I did not take any speed on that 4th Avenue. I knew when the crowds were coming. I was able to tell him, hey, slow down. Your pace is getting too high. This is a marathon, not a sprint. All of the things that you taught us, I was able to literally teach again, which teaches me and teaches another person. So no, it was the most important part of our training. I'm not going to hold you. It was the most important part. And it is the reason why I feel confident if I ever do this again, that I'm going to, the get back, the get back's going to get put in. Because again, that I know now all the entire course. And
that's wild. That's wild. I really appreciate that. And I feel like it's something that really is the embodiment of what our club is really about. We make sure that everyone learns whatever they can learn, and then people come in, and then new people learn from those who we taught, and it keeps going. I mean, I see it every day in my class. I do class on Mondays and Wednesdays at my job, and whenever someone new comes in, I say hi to them. But the people who actually show them how to do stuff are the people I've already taught how to do stuff. And those people teach them, and then someone else comes in. A new person now is the old person. They teach somebody else, and that's how you grow community. That's how you build, whatever you're trying to work on when it comes to people and connections, whatever else. So it's just amazing that you shared that with me, because I feel good. I feel great about that. And one of the things that I've learned from the marathon is listening and trusting yourself. And trusting what you're training, trusting the process, and putting all the work in that thing, so that when race day comes, you're good to go. What's the one thing you learned from this experience as you trained for 17, 18 weeks? You did stuff with us, you did stuff on your own, you listened to others, and you did your own research. And what's one of the things that you took away from this marathon experience, now being a part of the 1% Club?
Man, the biggest takeaway for me, and I'm just going to shoot from the cuff, is, there is a part of doing something that you've never done before, that no one that literally has ever done before. There's a part of doing something that is not really considered normal or common, that just makes you realize how good God is, because God gives us room to experience things like this if we choose to put the work in. And it encourages me to continue to push forward with whatever I think is something that is a goal of mine, and to continue to know, even if no one's done it that I know, that doesn't mean that I can't be the example for somebody else. And it just reinstates that process for me. I literally, this year has been a year of doing incredible things. Riding a motorcycle from Atlanta to New York, incredible things, like things that no one I know has ever done. But like, I'm that guy that's going to do things like that if I have a good purpose, a reason behind it. Like, and this marathon was no different. My family was backing me. You guys were backing me. My close friends, my daughter was there. Like, it just tells me that in this life, we have one body to go through this life. So make sure that body is capable of doing everything that you want it to do. Treat it right, love it right, do all the things you need to do to keep it prepared. And I think that's a part of God's calling for us. Like, we need to be stewards of righteousness. And to do that, mind, body, and spirit have to be in alignment. And if my spirit is high, my body is high, that means everything else in between is going to be good. So for me, it just kind of affirms the same concept of, as within, so without. If I have a lot of love for God in here and I can express that through my body and do things that bring his grace and mercy into other people's lives, whether it be through sharing advice on a course or training when I'm hurt and telling people to just get through it and motivating folks and talking to you and learning all these things and teaching to other people, it's like, that's God's work. You're doing God's work, Sean. So Dr. Thomas, I appreciate what you're doing. And that's the biggest takeaway for me, is like just moving forward in this and letting the work speak for itself. Let God speak through you, through what you do and how you do it. So that's
it's real talk. I appreciate you sharing that. And I completely agree with you on that on all levels. So what's next now, sir? I mean, you've done this thing, you've gotten your revenge like MJ did. It's like the last dance. I mean, you keep saying that you're done. But I gotta remind you, MJ retired and then he came back. So I'm just curious, what's next for you on the docket?
Well, I think what's next for me is Ted Corbett, one of my favorite races ever. And then I know I have the Brooklyn half next year. And I think between now and then, I'm going to have a nice little recovery window. And there might be another marathon in my future. And it depends on if I can get one of my close friends to come out and run one. Then maybe that might motivate me to want to do one too. But I don't put no pressure on nobody. But I'm going to keep this run body that I have now, and the energy and what it brings for me. Like, I like the way I feel doing this. So I'm going to keep it going. But what's next for me is just more of the same. Like, I want to be a better version in 2025. What I did in 2024 is just the beginning. So whatever this is the baseline. And I just want to continue to grow every skill, every muscle, every mentality, whatever I have now, it's going to be better in 2025, no matter what. So the goal is to just work and build upon the foundation that you guys have set for me. So that's the goal. Whatever that leads to is what it's going to be.
Well, I'm excited for that. And I appreciate you being on the show. I appreciate you being a part of our club. You're an asset now. You're officially the 1% Club. And congratulations on conquering the obstacle. And I'm looking forward to you doing your next marathon very, very soon, because it's going to happen. I mean, I hear it in your voice. I know you keep saying no, but we've been here before. And I said no myself in 2017. And I'm about to hit my 9th marathon in March. So this is something that, it's going to happen. Yeah, the itch is real. Get some cortisone or whatever you got to put on your body to get the itch away. But we'll see what happens.
Listen, well, I appreciate you. You're a brother now. And I've done a Spartan race, the stadium one in City Field.
Okay.
You want to ripped up my hands this year doing that.
Yeah,
so
we got to get a little dirty.
We got to get a little dirty. Yeah, we got to do the real one.
Get a little dirty. And I feel like, since you do play ball, we may have to work on that too, because Ismael and I actually played ball before the Spartan Sunday and before the Run Club. We were playing ball, so we might have to do a little ball session too. We'll figure that out.
So, Doc, what you are to running is what I am to basketball. So we're gonna teach now things. We're gonna teach other things. That's a difference.
Let me get
world. World. You got 9 medals, brother. I got some MV in me.
All right, hold that thought. We'll come at it. That's for a different show. Anyway, Benarge, thank you so much. We appreciate you, brother. Yes, sir. All day. That's my new favorite friend, folks, right there. Benarge, he's a rock star amongst rock stars, and I'm so proud of him for getting this thing done. He did his thing. And we have one more combo that we're going to bring on the show right now. And this couple, they're near and dear to our hearts. They've been the newest members to our crew, but they came in like thunder and lightning, and they have been electric together this entire year. So let's bring on to the show right now Rhondine and Anthony Melendez. I'm super excited to have them on right now. Anthony and Rhondine, what is going on?
Hey. Hey, Sean. Thank you so much.
We're good.
We're
good. We are good.
You guys are amazing. It's been incredible watching your individual journeys and your collective journeys as well. I'm gonna start with Rhondine. Rhondine, you are a rock star. Since day one, you've been just coming in this place and you're like, yeah, I'm ready to go. Let's go. And I've been like, oh, hold on a second. Who is this person? Like, what's going on? But you've been doing it. You've been crushing it since day one. You completed the London Marathon with us earlier this year, and you ran with our co-captain, or our captain, Ismael Torres. And it was great seeing you on the course. It was great just seeing you conquer that obstacle and finishing your marathon with us.
Yeah.
And then you came back and you ran NYC in the same year with your boo thing.
Yeah.
And know, how does it feel to not just be a one-time marathoner, but now a two-time marathoner in the same year?
Oh my goodness. It's a dream come true. It feels absolutely amazing. London was a blur. Like it was a dream. It was something that, I wanted to do so bad and didn't think it was possible. It was a thought. Running is something that I started when I was younger. And when I lost my vision, I thought, okay, running is over. And when I met Ish and, we started to talk about, running and just being guided and tethered. And I was so excited. I was just like, oh my God, like, I can't believe I'm actually going to be doing this. And even through the training and everything, it was just like, okay, this is happening. But when it was over, I was just like, wow, like I don't even have words to describe the feeling. Like, I thought I was going to cry after London, but I was so numb with excitement that it was just like, no, this is just not like it didn't happen, and getting to come back now and do New York and getting to do it with Anthony, it was just so electric and so exciting. And, just listening to everyone along the course. And it was just like my feet just knew where to go. It was familiar. It was just like, it was just really exciting.
Well, that's incredible, Rhondine. And for those who know your story, you did lose your vision not when you were younger, but when you were older.
Yeah,
and that changes things because you were able to see things at a certain point in time, and now it's more challenging. But the same regard, you've been doing this thing, and you've been doing races, and you've been killing this thing. What's it been like for you to, like you said, hearing the crowds and feeling the emotions? For those who might not be able to experience exactly what you're talking about, can you put into words what it feels like to, run with someone who's leading you for a certain race or a certain journey, and be able to trust them through that process, and maybe even some of the emotions you may get while you're on some of these courses? What's it feel like? How do you do it?
Yeah. So it's people tell me that like they just can't understand. It's not something that I think I can put into words per se. Because you are trusting somebody with your life. They're telling you go left, go right, and you just literally have to take their word for it. But running for me, it's such a relaxing, it's such a freeing thing to do, and just to just listen to nature and just be a part of that thing, whatever that is. It's just mind-blowing.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that's incredible to me, just listening to your explanation or your attempt to explain what it feels like. To me, it must mean something that you can't even put into words. And the big thing you mentioned was trust.
Yeah.
Because literally, most people have a hard time trusting people that they can actually see and in front of them, but you're trusting people that you're not always able to see exactly. but you're
Yeah.
trusting them, like you're saying, while you are, as your name on your jersey said, this track star, right? So you're not like you're walking and trusting, you're running fast.
Yeah.
You're running fast. And trusting that person to make sure that they're going to guide you as you're doing your best. What's that feel like, for one? And where did the name track star come from? Because most people are like, oh, they're a track star. I was a track star.
Yeah.
Not many people actually say they're track stars on their jersey, but you say, you know what, my name for this year is gonna be put track star on my chest. I want everyone to know that I am a track star. What inspired the track star name on your jersey for this race?
She's a runner. She's a track star.
So that's literally where it came from. That song. It was a nickname that came on. You know, when I tell people that I run, they look at me like I'm crazy. They're like, how are you doing this? Who are you fooling? You know? And I'm like, no, like, this is what I do. This is what I just love to run, you know, and running track for me, that was my happy place, you know? And, you know, just being able to have that opportunity to, you know, to get back there. Like, I can't be on the track the way that I used to be anymore by myself. So, you know, being able to run these races now, it just takes me back to my happy place. And that's the reason why I wanted track star in my shirt.
Well, you were definitely a track star. You earned that name and you embodied that name. And I got to go down to your booth thing. Anthony, welcome officially, sir.
Yes.
Club. What inspired you to do this thing in the first place?
So, wow. It was initially Rhondine's drive. You know, I wanted to be there to be able to guide her, to take her across. New York was our initial goal. London came later. You know, it was, hey, you know, I want to run. And we're like, okay. I'm like, well, you know, I'm a little busy with work, but I want to make this happen. You know, we developed a relationship, you know, with the Spartans. We met you guys at church. Ish was amazing. Ish was like, well, you know, there's this organization, Achilles, that, you know, they can train with her when you're not available. And we immediately joined. And she went was it Wednesday or Thursday? Thursdays to train. And I went and I immediately got inspired. I said, wow, look at these people here, you know, with all different types of challenges, you know, whether it be, you know, physical, mental, whatever. And they're out there and they're giving it their all to train, to do these marathons. And I'm sitting back and I'm not even willing to run for a bus. You know, I'm like, you know, I got to do this. I got to be healthy. I want to be here for my boys. And most of all, I want to be here for her. So I pushed myself. And I mean, come on, coach, you know, well, 6 a.m., you know, in front of the Barclays, you saw my temperament. You know where I was. I definitely wasn't inspired until I started moving my feet. And then I realized that, you know, my body's talking to me. It wants to do this. You know, and I pushed and I pushed and I just wanted to do it for her, to be better. And in turn, it helped me mentally and physically.
Yeah. Listen, I know exactly what you're talking about because, yes, I saw you. And I'm not going to lie to you, Anthony. You show up and be like, I don't know if I'm going to be able to do this. We were here Saturday. We were here on Friday. We were here Thursday. I'm listening.
I had a
litany of excuses for why he doesn't want to do this thing. But then every time you showed up and you showed out. And, you know, you put that work in. It might not have felt good, but again, it's not supposed to feel good because it's hard stuff. But we can do hard things. And you did that hard thing. And I'm remembering back to when we first really started interacting at my office when we were doing the workouts. And you had some challenges, bro. I'm not going to lie to you. There were times where I was like, I'm not sure if he's going to be able to get through this thing. Just from the fatigue you were showing in the workouts, some of the headaches. And I'd always check up on you and say, hey, you okay? You kept saying, I'm good. I'm fine. I'm going to be okay. And you did what you had to do. You were proactive. You talked to this person, that person, doctor, whatever else. And you kept giving me updates about, you know, what's going on with you, how you're feeling. And I slowly saw, even though you were saying one thing, right? Because you're like, I don't know if I want to do that. You were still actively putting in that work. You were still actively making sure that you were preparing yourself for what you knew was coming down the pipeline. And I just got to say, I'm proud of you, because a lot of people could have been like, you know what? Not feeling it. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to persevere through this. Oh, this is too challenging for me. Let my wife rock out. You know, she can do everything. I'll support her from the sidelines. But you said, you know what? I'm going to do this thing. I'm committed to this goal. And you did it. And I'm just curious, you know, what did you do differently to prepare yourself from the beginning of this year, where you weren't at the finish line at all, to now where you've crossed the finish line successfully and have completed one of the most challenging marathons in the world?
You know, to keep it plain and simple, I just believed in myself. You know, in the beginning, I did have those health challenges. I vetted through them. I figured out what was wrong. You know, I came into these workouts thinking I was 16. You know, I try to rush into it and give it my all. And, you know, I'm like, I got to step back. And even the doctors tell me, like, you know, you're 43. You know, you got to slow down. And when I slowed down and honed in on the workouts and what my body can accept, listening to Rhondine tell me, you know, you got to just take it easy, one foot in front of the other. And I did. And, you know, I remember going through the Prospect Park track series, and each week getting better and better and better, and watching that, you know, that just PRing, you know, every week. It opened something up. The first time I ran around the park, I think it was, you know, I'd stayed at like maybe a 10.5-minute pace, consistent for the whole 3 mile. That blew me away. And I was like, did I really do that? And it helped me. It helped me. And I think that's really what I did different. I slowed down and I believed in myself.
Yeah.
Really what it was.
That's big talk. And, you know, I'm looking at you guys now. You guys are a beautiful couple. What does it feel like to run together? Because I know, you know, we always say in life, you're with your partner and it's, you know, forever and, you know, sickness and health. But you guys literally were tied together.
Yep.
And I know, because I'm married. Ismael can probably testify to this too.
Yeah. Whether
you're in a car ride for 4 hours, 6 hours, conversations start coming up, and you may have arguments over the smallest things.
Yeah.
So I'm always curious when it comes to people like this who run together, who know each other intimately, and you're going through a challenging thing together. It's not you're walking down, you know, you're in Rome walking around the streets. You're aggravating pain. You know, you're going through all these different things. What was it like being a married couple running a race together, knowing that there was no way that you were going to leave each other? You had to start and finish together. What was that like?
Sean, I was trying to run away the whole time. I was trying. I couldn't get away. No, but in all seriousness, Staten Island was challenging. Staten Island was a really hard race for me, and this is a good example of, you know, just us sticking together. I felt like I let her down that whole race. He took off, and in our training, one of the things that we had the most trouble with is figuring out a pace together. You know, running is meticulous. You know, you hone in on your marathon pace and you stick to it. And hers was very different than mine. And we couldn't get there. So she would take off, and, you know, I would do like a block or two and burn out. So now I got to slow down and walk, catch my breath, you know, get my body in order. And we did, in my opinion, terrible in Staten Island. Yeah. And we argued that entire run. Oh boy, I got fired that day. I got fired. I said, I was going to run New York. I don't think it's going to be me. It's going to be her and someone else. But then we worked through it. You know, the last like 2 or 3 miles, if you're familiar with the course, we were behind the railroad and it's really quiet back there. And, you know, I prayed about it, and we started to laugh and joke, figure it out, and be like, we're going to do better. Yeah. You know, everybody says if you can make it through Staten Island, then you definitely got the marathon down. Yeah. And I was like, okay. And that gave me confidence. And then fast forward, we did the 20-mile workout. And that's when I knew we had it.
Mm-hmm.
Through it, and we felt amazing.
Mm-hmm.
I was prepared.
Yeah, New York was actually really good. We laughed the entire course.
Whole course.
You know, it wasn't about, you know, having a PR. It wasn't about anything. We just gelled together so well, and we just conquered it.
Yeah.
So much fun.
Yeah. Well, that's crazy. I also knew you were ready when you did the 20-miler, and that was my test to be like, yo, if they do that, they're good.
And we did it by ourselves.
Yeah.
And that's true. And you know, you guys may be starting a new standard for not just marriage counseling, but people who want to date. I mean, see if you can get through a situation is by going through a trial. You guys came through the trial together victoriously, and I mean, we say don't Spartan left behind, but that's kind of exactly what marriage is like. I mean, you really can't. When things get hard, when things get tough, when someone's going a little faster than you are, or vice versa, pull them with you. And I think it's a great metaphor for life, but also for relationships. So it's beautiful to see you guys do it together. It's really inspiring. And I'm just curious now. You know, I was at the end. I saw you guys at mile 8, our cheer station. Shout out to Jag and our other sponsors. But I also saw you at the end with your kids.
Yeah.
And we were looking for you. And we put them more in front to make sure they could see you. What did it feel like when you saw the Spartans? And more importantly, when you saw your kids at mile 25.8 9? What did that feel like? You know, when you were so close and that they had been watching you the entire time.
You want to go first?
Man, it was exhilarating. Just seeing them there, and you know, this is my second, you know, that they had to endure those hours standing out there, but you know, just seeing how excited they was for us, just made me feel like, okay, I did something good today. You know, like this wasn't in vain, you know, and I'm hoping that, you know, this can inspire them, you know, to get out there and start running. And, you know, because it's not just about running, you know, it's staying healthy. It's just, you know, having something that you're doing for yourself is always the best thing in life, you know.
For me, you know, it's so funny through the training. Fellow Spartan and Auntie Arline has told me, you know, when I get about the 18th or 20th mile, I'm gonna hit a wall. And that wall came heavy. And you know, and I'm pushing. And as you know, we did miss the boys when we turned the corner on Flatbush.
Oh man, yeah.
And it kind of broke my heart. I was like, oh, I gotta see them. And when I got there at mile 20, I was a little after 26, and I just saw Jacob standing and I saw Malachi. This overwhelming feeling came over. You know, it gave me all the energy I needed to make it into the park and cross that finish line. And man, I was bawling. I'm not even gonna lie. That's why I bought the big glasses so nobody could see it. But it was so heavy. And it pushed me through. It was the most amazing feeling. It was the most amazing feeling.
Well, listen, they say the marathon moves you. It moves all of us. And it really is, I think, one of the best days in the city, but also just really an embodiment of community coming together and everyone showing love. You're cheering on strangers.
Yeah.
You don't know them, but you're giving them all your heart. My wife literally lost her voice every single year. One day. And it feels, I'm not going to lie to you, because we didn't run NYC this year or last year. It feels just as tiring cheering for 8-9 hours. You're putting so much energy and giving so much love to people that you don't even know. And I think it's just one of the greatest moments in humanity. It happens across the country in various places. So it's great. It's great. What's one thing you guys learned individually about yourselves during this marathon season?
I'll keep it short and sweet, man. You can do it. I think that, you know, if you put your mind and your body to it, you can get it done. You know, do the work, believe in the training, and you'll get it done. I didn't believe in the training until it worked, and I was like, wow, this is real, and I got it done. So I've learned that I could do it.
Rhondine.
For me, just like the motto says, big work, big win, so that's just it. That's my motto. For me, I don't allow my disability to be an obstacle in my way. So I'm always trying to conquer any obstacle that gets in my way, and let people know that, hey, just because I'm blind, that's not going to hold me back, so it's all about conquering obstacles for me.
Amazing. Rhondine, personal question, if you don't mind me asking. So I know you say that you are blind. Can you see colors, shapes? What's it like for you in that aspect?
Yeah, I can only see, I only have light perception. So I can tell, if the light is on or off, but that's about it. I can't see colors, can't really see, shapes and things like that. Like it's sort of like a silhouette, but, I just don't even try.
Yeah. Even more incredible that you were able to do this, not just one time, but twice, running as fast as you were running by Ismael and your booth thing over here, different countries. I mean, it's incredible. It's incredible. So my last question for you both is, or even individually, what's next? I mean, you've heard various people on the show already. They're done, no more, but then a little hint of, well, we'll see what happens. My brother Tyrell said he's done no matter what. He said, I'm done. They even asked me. He's cool. So what's next for you guys? What's next for the Melendez family?
I got to tell you that I absolutely was one that said one and done before I did it. This feels so good. I'm telling you, it's an amazing feeling. It's absolutely addictive. I'm going to train. I qualify with 2 more races to do this again next year, and I absolutely will. Tell them what's next for you, and then I'll make my second part.
Well, for me, Tokyo is next. I can't wait. I'll be running Tokyo in March, and that is going to be 2 days before my 40th birthday. So
wow,
exciting.
Very exciting. Very exciting.
Yes.
That's definitely big work, and it could be a big win for you. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Anthony, you want to share one more thing, Anthony? What you want to say?
Yeah, I wanted to say that Tokyo is something I wanted to be a part of. I didn't do it the same way through a charity bib. I tried to go in and on a regular invitation. I haven't heard back from them yet. I don't know if it's over, but if I do hear back, then that's God speaking, and I will absolutely be running Tokyo as well.
Awesome. Okay, folks, you heard it here first. Tokyo's on the docket, hopefully and certainly for the Melendez family. So we look forward to that. Folks, thank you so much for being on the show. You made this one from the books. I really appreciate each and every last one of you. And Anthony, welcome to the club. Rhondine, welcome to the club again.
Thank you.
Look forward to all things moving forward with you guys for 2025. So congratulations.
I just want to give a special thank you to the entire Spartan team, to you, to Ish, to Arline, and every other Spartan that pushed me through. Your unwavering support got me to where I am today, got her to where she is today. Yes. I love you guys for that. And just thank you.
No problem.
Thank you so much.
No problem. More to come. More to come.
More to come.
Yes, sir. Folks, my heart is full. I don't even know what else to say because we're done. But I do want to bring on my boy Ismael for one more time. Captain, come on back on and I want to just ask you one more question. And the question is very, very simple. You've heard all the stories of all the runners. You and I have been doing this for a long time. It's always great just seeing the progression and seeing people really, in fact, conquer their obstacles, whether it's on the Spartan course or on the course of the marathon or a 5K, 10K, even on the course of life. And people are always like, yo, I could do that the same way you saw me and Arthur and whatever else. But people are always like, well, how can I get into this thing? So if people are like, yo, I saw this show, I'm inspired, I want to be like Benarge, Erica, and Anthony, and Rhondine, and Tyrell, and Laurel, how do I sign up? Where do I start? How do I join the club? What information can you share with folks so they can join our family?
Yeah, so joining the family is pretty easy. We love all paces, all spaces, all comfort zones, all abilities. So no matter if you're coming off the couch, as long as you have an obstacle to conquer, we're here to help you conquer that. So you say you want to do the marathon. There's a couple of ways to go at it, but first we do want to make sure that you're in the right frame of mind and space to be able to tackle the training that's necessary to get that done. Now, we are on Instagram. You can, if you go on IG, you go to Spartan Sunday Run Club, one word, Spartan Sundays Run Club. You could hit follow. There's a couple of links in there, which go to like some automatic pages, tell us a little about yourself. And then we have a new members WhatsApp chat in which, you know, Sean will be the coach and host of that chat. And he gets to hear all the new members, what you're trying to do, dreams, goals, all of those things. And we try to formulate a plan on how we can help you get to that goal. Now, you want to do the marathon. There's two ways to go about it. You know, there's a 2-year plan, which is the most recommended plan. And New York Road Runners, which is the road running association that we are part of in New York, which is also the host of the New York City Marathon. They have a policy of running 9 races and volunteering at one situation or location for the year, right? We tend to do the Marathon Expo because it is the most awesome place. You meet people from around the world. You can get conversations anywhere you need to about anything. You know, they're all striving for the same goal, and they came here to our home to get it done, right? So, you know, we just got to usher them along. So that's the 2-year plan. After you get those 9+1, you know, you have a spot for the next year. Of course, you have to pay for it, and then it's real, right? Then you start plotting out your year and how you're going to get it done. And that's where we come in. We're here to assist you with a plan. We have something called seasons. We have like our winter workout season where you build your base. Special shout out to JAG Physical Therapy for providing the space for us to go work out, build our foundations, you know, laying those bricks. And then we have our spring speed season, which we take all those foundations, then we put some speed to it. We burn some rubber. Then we take a little break for ourselves, right? What that does is we go on a barbecue. This year we go on a fishing trip we went to, which was super fun. And we get dirty in the middle of the year. And that's where we do our real Spartan race, right? After all that's done, then it's long run season, which is 18 weeks getting you ready for the marathon. And then we get into fall season. That's when we hope you're ready to perform and you are on the stage. All that stuff that you did during the year puts you ready on the stage for the race that you signed up for. Being at New York, being at Chicago, being at Berlin, being any marathon that you signed up for in the fall, we have you ready for it. Some people do Philly, which is actually next week. But you know, we're here to prepare you from beginning to end. And we do have a special situation. There are some situations in which, you know, you've earned a spot. And you know, thank you to New York Road Runners. They do provide our run club with a spot here and there. But that is a rigorous process. We need to see that you earn it. And you earn NYC. We don't say you complete NYC or you finish NYC. You earn NYC. And that's kind of the 2-year process to get it going. So check us out on Instagram. We do have a weekly newsletter that tells us everything we're doing for a week. We have a weekly schedule, which we post out once a week on Instagram stories and in our email. So we have ways to kind of reach out. So we pretty much have everything covered. And I just want to thank all the partners that come with us. You know, JAG, of course, yourself, Be More Today, Traveling Niece Experiences, that without her, shout out to Shanice, who takes us all around the world to get that and sets up all of our accommodations. We literally jump on the plane, go to the hotel, be ready. We worry about race day, and she gets us ready for everything else is covered, and we love her for that. And you know, Coca-Cola, but specifically Vitamin Water, Smart Water for keeping us hydrated. There's just so many, man. Element, drink Element for the salty goodness for all those people who are big sweaters, and you just need to have to bring that sodium back. we've kind of tailored some plans during the year to kind of help everybody be as optimal as we can.
Awesome. Yeah, we have a lot of partnerships now, so we appreciate all our partners, and it's been great, Ish. It's been really a beautiful journey, just seeing where we come from, where we're going. So I salute you, sir, and congrats to all of our 2024 finishers. They rocked out, and maybe you, listeners out there, will be part of our club for next year. If you want to, again, go on our Instagram page and do the information on there. You can be a part of our group for next year, 2025. It will be here very, very soon. Our theme will be shared at a very, very close to date. But until then, we will continue to do big work and have big wins in 2024. And I just want to say again, think about the quote we talked about earlier today, because it's so poignant for everyone who was on the show today. Perseverance doesn't always mean winning or losing. Perseverance means showing up and rising to the occasion and performing. You heard about that from everyone on the show today. They persevered, they showed up, and they rose to the occasion, whether it meant the ones who were doing it for personal reasons or for their loved ones or to get close to someone else, just because they wanted to tackle something they knew that they had to get done. Whatever the reason is, you can get through these things. And our job as leaders, as coaches, is to make sure that we do that for everyone, including ourselves, and we hold ourselves accountable to get over our obstacles every single time. So thank you so much for being on the show, Ish. I really appreciate you as always. Excited to rock out with you more in 24 and even more in 25. And for Be More Today family out there, this one's one for the books. Continue to be out there and keep taking your steps to greatness to be the best version of you. We'll see you next week. Peace.
Peace.